Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You're joining us for Chief Artisan Thursday, and we're in the studio with Stephanie Logan. She's sharing with us over 30 years of experience in the cosmetology field. And now we're going to dive a little bit deeper, and she wants to share her uh, phenomenal journey and story with us about being a cancer survivor. Go ahead, Stephanie.
Good afternoon again, audience. Thank you for having me. Yeah, when I was probably about 19 years old, I was diagnosed with Hodgkin's disease, which is a cancer of the lymph nodes, of the lymphatic system. And of course, it was traumatic, it was devastating. I had to have radiation therapy. It was just, I had nobody to hold my hand and tell me what to expect. It was really a strange and weird process for a 19-year-old to go through, and actually quite terrifying process for a 19-year-old to go through. But by the grace of God, I went through it. I survived it. Everything was wonderful. I did the surgeries that I needed to do. They did all kinds of tests. Now, of course, they don't do those anymore, but that's the wonderful miracle
Mm,
of advanced medicine.
okay.
They learn as they go. And fast forward 25 years later, at the age of about 45, I was diagnosed with breast cancer.
Mm,
And again, that was quite traumatic because I'm like, okay, and I went through the why me's. I did. I went through the why me's, and God and I had a real heart to heart, several conversations because I'm like, why am I going through this again? Why? Why am I going through this again? Why one wasn't enough? Why am I doing it again? And he simply said, once I got still and quiet, he simply said, because you're supposed to help other people.
wow.
So since I know that's my purpose, for my journey, that's what I do. I share my story every time I get a chance to whomever will listen, because if my experience through either cancer or both cancers can help somebody else navigate through their experience, then I've done what I'm supposed to do. Sometimes it just helps to talk to somebody who has walked that journey. We all have family and friends that love us and want to be there for us, and that's great. But when you are the patient, you know they love you and they want to be there for you, but you feel still a slightly isolated because they don't know what you're experiencing, and you don't really know how to communicate what you're experiencing because it's all so new. And so to kind of talk to somebody who's been down that road before, it can be comforting. So I talk to women all the time, and every time they say, "Oh, thank you," because they feel that they can ask me questions that they may not ask their doctor or their nurse, and they wouldn't ask their family because their family has never gone through it before.
Right.
So to be able to speak to someone and ask a question, a very personal question, and get an answer that they can relate to can be kind of comforting and encouraging and inspiring. I met this lady yesterday, and well, let me say this: once a month, I conduct a Look Good, Feel Better session for cancer patients and survivors for American Cancer Society. I volunteer and do that.
Is this part
And
of
so
your
I'm at
Empower Mini network?
Well, no, I'm actually a volunteer for American Cancer Society, so this is their program,
Okay.
and I facilitate the session at UIC Hospital here in
Okay.
Chicago, and we meet once a month. And that session usually turns into a bit of a support group. I met this lady yesterday who was dealing with lung cancer, and she was 51, and she was very terrified. She was terrified. She looked like she was 33, but she was terrified. And it became quite emotional because I asked the women to, share a bit of themselves, of their story, whatever they feel comfortable sharing, so that we kind of can connect. And she did. And, it became quite emotional. but she just really needed somebody to tell her that she was going to be okay. Even though, her doctors told her that her prognosis is good, but to have somebody who's been down a cancer road before, even though I didn't have lung cancer, I can still connect with her on that level. And for me to be able to lay hands on her and tell her that she was going to be all fine, I looked her right in her eyes and gave her the inspiration and the courage that she so desperately needed, that she couldn't get from anyone else. And so when I'm able to touch somebody like that, touch their spirit, touch their heart, it just brings a sense of joy to my spirit. And, so I wish I could do it more than once a month. I really do.
I know the feeling. It's like because I'm 45 now, and I loved actually turning 40 because you come into an understanding about life and about yourself, hopefully, that when you can turn around and offer, younger women, or even other women advice that you didn't have when you were going through, a crisis or a situation where it's like, you know what? I'm thankful that I went through that because I can so understand you. Because
Right.
while you were talking, I said that's not too far from the conversation of having a death and dying situation. You know, I remember my first time I went through it, and it was like it was very much for me a spiritual transition,
Mhm.
because I had never been through someone passing before,
Mhm.
and I was young at the time. I think I was right over 20 years old. And granted, I had had people pass, but they were never my direct family or close friends of mine. So that closeness of having someone just removed from your life, a lot of times, I know now, like, sometimes I just don't want anybody talking to me. I just need you to hear me out.
Mhm.
I don't want a solution to the problem. I just need to know that you hear me.
Right.
And, that's a lot of what you're saying. It's wonderful that when women can hold hands and say, you know what, I'm just here for you.
Right.
Because I've been there, you
Right.
know?
Right.
Yeah, that's
Right. It's
awesome.
a sense of peace,
Mm-hmm.
and comfort to know that you're not alone. You're not isolated, even though you may feel like your experience is, and every experience is unique, but you're not alone in your experience.
And I think that for me drives home the wonderful part about being a travel agent, because one of the things is I love meeting face to face and talking, still phone to phone.
Mm-hmm.
I do the chat and all that kind of wonderful stuff, but there's something about hearing another human voice speaking to another human voice in a sense of encouragement, to
Mm-hmm.
let them know, like you said, it's going to be okay. Like, I hear you.
Right.
That kind of voice.
Right.
So we want to turn this towards a positive note. You have a spa trip coming up.
Yes, I do.
You
And
have to inform
so
our listeners.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Myself and a business partner, Miss Sharon Guilty of the Abyss Salon, who is co-owner with Mr. David Guilty, who I think was on your show previously.
Hmm.
Um, Myself and Sharon have come together and created the Spa Couture Experience. This is for women only, and this is where your reality of life changes, ladies. We will be taking spa retreats twice a year for now. The first one will be in March, the weekend of March 20th through the 22nd. We will be visiting the Kohler Water Spa in Kohler, Wisconsin. And I know everybody out there is familiar with the name Kohler because Kohler manufactures a lot of our water faucets and bathtubs and water equipment, things like that. So, yes, Kohler,
Fixtures. Hmm.
yes, fixtures, thank you. Kohler has a water spa in Kohler, Wisconsin. And we're going to be driving up there. We're going to rent a coach bus. So we have limited seating. And the price is $350 per person based on double occupancy. And we just have a lot of little goodies and extras and things that we have in store for our women who come. But we really created this because women, we are working hard. And then we come home and we take care of the family.
And
And
work
then
even harder.
work even harder, yes. And then there's the homework, and then there's the babies, and then there's the this and the that and the other. And then we rarely, rarely, rarely take time to nurture ourselves. So this is your opportunity, ladies, to take a couple of days. The kids will be fine. It's okay if your husband puts the baby's pamper on, not just like you do. I promise you the baby will be fine. They will have a good
Yes.
time. This is your opportunity to meet with, connect with other sisters on a spa weekend and pamper yourself because you deserve it. You deserve it. And if we don't do it for ourselves, it won't get done. So please, ladies, take a moment and join us on this experience. Now, in September, we're looking at a resort in Arizona. We haven't confirm the dates or the actual retreat location yet, but we're going to get past this first one and we will let you know. So there is a Facebook page, there's a website, which is www.spacoutureexperience.com. Like I said, you can also find us on Facebook. A lot of the detailed information is on the website. So visit it. The deposit due date is coming up very quickly. We're only asking for half down to hold your spot, but it is due, I believe it's December 1st.
Okay.
Okay.
And we'll have the link, below when we broadcast this episode so that they can get in touch with you,
Okay.
even if it's not this time, but definitely Arizona is something that you should look forward to because just the warm weather, the beautiful colors in Arizona, it does a lot for your soul, to see that for yourself. You gotta, the internet doesn't do it justice.
Absolutely.
So when I go and travel and see the mountains and see the rivers, take a notebook, take something to write down because trust me, you'll be inspired to do different things in your life once you break out of that pattern of just work and home and work. We understand that these are responsible women, so we want to get them into a place of saying, you know what, you deserve it. And we're here to support you as travel agents. So we're running long on time. We're definitely gonna have Stephanie back, after her spa experience to fill you guys in on how it went and
Hopefully
to
you'll have a lot of your listeners on the experience with us. So
oh
that
yeah, definitely. We're always promoting a trip to some kind of spa, some kind of place to travel outside of where you've been already, to try something new. So let's say that they do want to travel to a new place and want to get in contact with you. What's your information for that?
Oh, sure. They can reach me at empowerminitravel@gmail.com. My contact information is also on my travel website, which is empowerminitravel.com. And you want me to leave my phone number?
Sure.
773-492-0632.
Well, Stephanie, it's definitely been a delight having you back in the studio for Chief Artisan Thursday. I look forward to partnering with you in different travel journeys, and I want to thank you so much for sharing your story as well as your experience in cosmetology. And we look forward to having you back in studio again.
Great. Thank you for having me. I look forward to it.
You're welcome. Take care.
You too.